Okay, so here we have the Rolls-Royce homepage hero section. Okay, here is Olipop. Okay, here's Sanucci. I said that right. Here's the Loom homepage. I was actually recording a video. I was about to record it on Loom, and then I came across this video and it matches perfectly. Here's a Gymshark homepage. Here's the Nike homepage, and they've got another one as well on slideshow, which is also a video. So you see the correlation here: homepage hero videos. And I think this is something that a lot of founders miss. I put some examples on here. These are my rough notes, by the way. Bear with me. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this. So why is this so good for your store? Why are so many brands, websites using it? Let me go back to it. I think the first thing is it captures attention. Now, if you're trying to make a really good hero section, getting attention should be like one of the main things that you strive to do in your hero section. And you can do this with a really good image, but a video is just so great at capturing attention. And I think that's why it's so used among popular brands and websites, and some people just haven't caught onto it just yet. To execute this well, I think you need to have it on autoplay, and this is going to be a common theme across everything I say, because having it on autoplay makes it so much more attention grabbing. It leads me onto the second point. It grips onto attention. It's not just that it gets your attention and then people go away. It keeps it for at least like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, depending on how long your video is, 30 seconds, right? And if you have like a more explanatory video, then it can keep people for 60 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, however long you need to explain your product to them, right? If somebody's looking at this, so I have two monitors, and as I was writing my notes for this, I had the video from one side of the screen here, and it was still kind of catching my attention. I was still kind of focused on the video because it's just so powerful, right? If somebody's looking at this on their phone, right, and they've got another window open, as when they're like switching between browsers, they'll still see the video on autoplay. Like, it's just a very powerful thing for attention. And of course, you can see with social media platforms, everything is about videos and these short form videos and content. So I think websites should start catching on to this a little bit more. Also, replay value is really good. So I think one of the best ones I enjoyed here was this Sanucci one. I think it's really cool. I think somebody did like a LinkedIn post showing like the behind the scenes of this. And we'll get onto this later and why most brands don't do this, because it just takes so much effort. But yeah, the end result is really, really clean, I think. And I think, yeah, grabbing attention and having people replay this because it's so good is just something I think is super powerful. Also, even for the laziest of customers, we've all been there. It really works because they actually don't need to do anything. So if you came to, this Loom one, and then you just press this, or let's go to this Olipop one, and you didn't even press anything, you're looking at this and it's selling to you without you actually having to do anything. So if you're here watching your phone like this, whatever it is, wherever customers are and whatever they're doing, they don't have to move, and they can still learn about your brand, learn about your product, right? It's resonating with them. We'll get this. I will get into this. I think that's the next one. It resonates with customers. So this Gymshark one's a really good one. It resonates with customers. Where's the setting of this, shot? They're in a gym somewhere, right? They're about to take a photo or whatever it is. They're finished their workout, about to start their workout. Maybe they're about to take a picture, whatever it is, right? They're wearing the gear that responds to them. It's got the logo, it's got their branding, and it just matches really well. And I think it resonates with people a lot more because they get to see people who are, I guess, the ideal vision of what they want to be when they're buying the product, and they get to see people who are matching that. And again, it leads me into the fourth point, which is branding, and it's just extra points. So with that Olipop one, it was very fun, bright, colorful, and I think that's matching something people like. Maybe it's to do with summer, maybe it's to do with happiness, enjoyment, and they're matching that to their product. For some of the other ones, it was kind of going, okay, cool, this is the kind of lifestyle that we want people who buy or purchase with us to experience. This is kind of the experience we want to create, right? So I think that's why this is so valuable, because it's not just a video showing off the products. Like, you can see they've not done like a zoomed in shot of the product specifically for too long, like for the whole thing. It's more so about the lifestyle and the experience, and kind of pulling people's emotions a little bit. So when they spend with you, they're not just spending on some chain or jewelry or some clothing. They're buying into your brand and buying into that experience, right? Again, you tell a story without having to write anything down. So I think some of the ones here, I think the Nike one didn't have much text on it at all. But yeah, this is one of the longer videos. So you can see there's this influencer here, and she's running, and you can see the setting that they've got, quite a remote place. It just seems very Nike. just very Nike. Great branding from them. Very Nike. And it's kind of telling you a story. And this one doesn't even have sound, but it's telling you a story whilst you're just watching it. You know, somebody who's trying to improve themselves and working on themselves, and maybe they're out here on multiple days, and it's a long run, whatever it is. What you can tell the story and convey a message without needing to explain into it. Again, kind of that idea of emotions. Also, it's new and fresh. Now, I'm not someone who recommends changing things for the sake of changing them, but I do recognize that if you're a customer looking to purchase something and you've come to this website and you've seen the same thing for a year or 6 months, you're probably looking for a fresh take someplace. Also, if your product is, I guess, a visual and experience one, people are looking for different takes, we'll call it, different styles, blends, that kind of thing. So if they come to your website and they see something new, that's just another opportunity to come at them with a different angle, which may be a winning angle for you guys. And then the last thing is it builds trust. So video is becoming so much more important. I'm recording video of you guys right now. You're listening to my voice, you're seeing my face, you're seeing my screen, right? Same thing with brands. You're seeing the product in use. You're seeing the pain point it's solving. You're seeing the setting. You're seeing how people use it. All this kind of thing. And I think it just builds trust and authenticity. And also, like, it shows customers that you've invested into your brand, which most people don't do. They just slap an image there and kind of get on with things. But you've invested in your brand, and people see this. So why do most people not do this? One is that it's expensive. I think that's probably the biggest reason. Now, I'm not saying this is, hundreds of thousands, but it's probably like thousands, at least hundreds. I can expect for this shoot, they're in a different country. When it's nice weather, they've got a boat, they've got a load of influencers, they've got a load of product photography, they've probably got a videographer, they've got a manager organizing the whole thing, probably a director for the video, they've got a video editor, they've got a web designer and developer who made the section. There's a lot of work that's gone into this, right? Same thing with this Loom video. They've hired somebody, they've got a setting, they've got a studio, they've got lighting, they've got audio professionals, right? Same thing with this. Somebody probably recorded that exact shot, maybe tens or hundreds of times, right? It takes a lot of effort to produce something really high quality. Or maybe it's the edit, right? They've got these specific camera shots, or it's the way people are dressing, or whatever it is. There's a lot that goes into making these videos really captivating and really great, which is what these big brands are really about. So you can see all the things that go into it here, and it just takes a lot of time, planning, money, effort, production costs. Now, obviously, if you're a smaller brand, you don't need to have like a whole, go to a different country, whatever it is, to make a video. It doesn't need to be this whole big elaborate thing, but it will be probably more than you think it is to do it really well. Like, as I was recording this video, I needed to mess around with like OBS settings. I'm using OBS. And make sure my audio sounds good, make sure my video isn't lagging, all these other things. And if you're a big brand, you've got way more factors and things to worry about. It takes time and effort to plan. So a creative concept is needed to succeed. I guess you could copy other people, but again, you want it to kind of resonate with your brand a little bit more. So you kind of need to sit down and actually plan this out in terms of a creative concept. You need to storyboard this. You need to think about the equipment that you're going to use. Are you going to have what type of mics, what type of video, what type of software do you need, what type of people do you need to help you get this across the line, right? Lots of effort needed, especially if it's your first time doing this. Once you've got a setup, or once you've got a person who helps you with this, it becomes much more easier, and then obviously repetition. But the first time, there's a lot of effort required, which is why most people don't do it. And the other thing is they haven't realized the power of video yet. So some people they just haven't caught on to the fact that video is just everywhere. It's just apparent. So maybe they're not good at selling stories, or they're not really a creative person. Maybe they don't understand the importance of attention, and we're in an attention economy. You've heard that statement before. Or maybe they're just used to images and they don't test much. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't want to, do something new, that kind of thing. One other small thing I put in here is can possibly go out of date. So it depends on, I guess, your product. But if you've got this Loom video, for example, maybe they recorded this and then maybe they put out a new version of their software. So then this old video then becomes kind of like out of date. So maybe you can use this video for maybe 6 months, a year, whatever it is, before you have a new shot. Or maybe if it's for like a clothing brand and you've got a new drop every couple of months, you probably need to do way more of these kind of videos. So that's another thing. It can be effort to upkeep. So which brands is this for? I would say anyone, pretty much anyone. I can't think of reason not to have a video. But I guess there are some brands and some industries where I think it would work better. So if you're lifestyle and experience, this is definitely something you should consider doing, because when people are spending with you, they're not just buying, a piece of clothing. I hope so. They're probably buying an experience, some kind of lifestyle, or some kind of community or fashion, whatever it is. They're buying a little bit more than just a piece of clothing. So whether it's clothing, travel, fitness, beauty, events, food, drinks, right? All these kind of things are more experience based. So if you're selling some high-end food or something, you're not trying to just sell the food, you're trying to sell the experience around the food, that people come down, sit down, have a meal, that sort of thing. So that's the kind of angles you want to be coming at in the video. In terms of it being, if you've got a brand that's premium or luxury, again, would highly recommend. I think anything that's high end, so you can see the Rolls Royce example. I think this was like a chess set. I thought I was going to see like a car or something, but they're doing a chess set apparently. But this just looks super cool. This just looks very Rolls Royce like. This just looks very high end, premium. You can see the editor must have spent a bunch of hours or whatever it is making that specific video feel the way that it does. The slow motion, the certain angles, the lighting, whatever it is, right? If you've got something that's premium and luxury, to make it look more premium and luxury, use video. You can use video really well. If you've got like a brand that's got a story or purpose or meaning behind it, you're trying to solve a pain for people, you're trying to solve something on the planet, you're trying to see some kind of change or maybe some kind of movement, video is very, very compelling for that. If you've got a complex product, so this is like a product that's just hard to explain, something that isn't just, oh, this is food, you eat it. This is like some tech thing that's going to solve some product here, or this is for B2B customers or whatever it is. If it's something complex and that needs a little bit of explaining, video is great for explaining, right? It's, I say, more effective than explaining by text if you have the option. Ideally, you want both, but video is really, really more convincing, and you can use graphs, you can use videos. So this is where having a really good editor will come in, and they will explain things way better. And then if you have a tech or a SaaS tool, again, video is great. So I think Loom, and this is why I put a few different examples here. Not all of them just e-commerce, but just from different sites, so you can really get the point here. So if you've got a tool like Loom, that's some kind of SaaS tool, people like make their website super like vague and abstract. Like, this is this cool screen recording tool, and using all these colors, dark mode, and whatever it is. Whereas video just allows you to just show the UI up front, right? So people get their expectations set, or you're able to set the expectation instead of making super vague and super whatever it is. So people don't quite get the product or understand it. So anything that's tech or SaaS, I think this is also really good for you as well. So how do you execute on this well? So you've watched this video, you're convinced that homepage hero videos are it, and you want to give this a go for yourself. So I think there's a few steps that you should take. One is to storyboard. Second is to plan. Third is to shoot, edit, do the thing. And then the fourth is to test it. So most people would probably just dive straight into 3 and then leave it at that. But I'm saying you should first of all clarify the goal, the aim that you're trying to achieve with this. Then go to the core message. Then go to creative, then research. Maybe I should change the order of this. And then after that, just decide whether this is first of all right for you. Maybe this isn't right for you. Maybe there's, as you write this out, you realize, okay, there's another way to solve this problem, or to clarify this better than a video. So video might not be it. I'm not saying everyone should have a video on a homepage. Just think what's right for you. Does this match our branding, whatever it is, right? Clarifying the goal means what are you trying to achieve with this video? These 5 videos are probably trying to achieve 5 different things, right? These Gymshark here looks like they've got a sale going on, so maybe they want to attract attention to this. These guys here look like they've got a new drop coming in or something, right? This looks like they want to do a promotional video for maybe a new range that they've got, or just show off a new formula or whatever it is. This looks like they're trying to make something for like a some other side project that they're working on, which Rolls Royce is pretty cool. So clarify your goal, clarify the message that you want people to leave with, clarify the creatives that you want. Visually, how do you want it to look? Because video, what do you want it to look like? Storyboard it, put it into steps. Plan what resources do you need for this, basically, and then also think further ahead onto the website. So when you're designing the storyboard, you want to make sure you're thinking about how it's going to be placed on the website whilst you're doing the storyboard, so beforehand. So most people think about this after, which is the wrong way to do it. Like, for example, this is on mobile, and I'm looking on mobile because most of your sessions come on mobile, so there we go. But you want to also think about desktop, right? How's it going to look on desktop? If you record this in landscape view, is it going to work somewhere else? Are you just going to be able to crop it? Is this something you need to tell the editor to do? Or are you going to shoot something separate for mobile, whatever it is? What type of hero section are you going to go for? Are you going to go for a full screen? Or are you going to go for something, how high or tall do you want it? Are you going to put text around this section? Are you going to overlay it? Are you going to have the video to the left and text to the right? Think about this stuff before you shoot the video, because it makes your video even better. Then actually shoot it, edit it, whatever, put it together. And then the last critical piece is to test it, launch it, and then see how it performs, right? Don't just put it up there and be like, great, done. You want to see how it does. Does it spur people in a different direction? Is your average time spent on the page going up? Are people bouncing more because of load speed or something? Try and analyze what's happening with this. Are people clicking a certain button? Look at heat maps and screen recordings. What are people doing when it comes to that homepage and interactive video? And then here's like a little checklist you can have to make sure you executed this the best way you can. So homepage hero is probably the best place to place it. Best place to put it. I think depending on the video, if you have like a separate landing page, you can put it there also, again, right at the top. But hero section, I think this video works perfectly. Loading speed is everything. Don't put this on your site and then have your site be waiting 5 or 10 seconds to load the video. I don't think it's worth it. You could probably make an argument, but I don't think it's worth it. Keep your loading speed good. Like, for example, I think Gymshark did this on desktop. Let's see if they do it on mobile. So when you refresh, you can see they've got a image, and then they go into having a video. So they've got some very clever web developers over there who are able to execute on things like that. So make sure you just structure it in a way that still thinks about performance, because you don't want to have people have these like ray loading screens and the homepage shifting about. That's not great. Compress the video once you've edited it. Make sure it's not too long, so people aren't loading for too long. Make sure it doesn't need to be in HD. So I think in the Sanucci example, you can see they probably shot this in like 10,000K X whatever it is, beautiful quality. But you can see on this, it's not coming out as crisp or whatever it is, and it doesn't need to be. That's perfectly fine, right? If you want to have it super HD and crisp and whatever it is, but then you compromise loading speed, I think that's not a sensible trade-off to make, right? And again, depending on the type of brand you have, if people are shopping online, then certainly you want to have loading speed front and center. If it's just more of a visual portfolio site, sure, go for it. Just make sure it loads. Loading speed is everything. Autoplay is essential. I've talked about this enough. Just make sure you have autoplay on there. And for example, in the Loom example, so they have autoplay, but in like a modal. So it's still autoplay, but just make sure something is moving on the screen, essentially. Bonus points, add in pause, add in sounds, add in full screens. These are all just nice to haves, I think, and they complement things really well. So you see Gymshark, they have a pause button over here. These guys have a pause button. Not everyone has it, but just a really nice thing to have. If you have an option for sound, so for example, if they had a sound option here and a full screen option, then people can be, then if you had a voiceover your video, then people can also experience that as well. Also a nice option to have. Optimize for mobile, talked about this enough. Make sure it loads well. Consider mobile heavily, because people who are on mobile devices, if they're on 4G on Wi-Fi, it's usually not as strong or as powerful as their desktop. So you want to make sure the performance is great even on mobile, because for most of you guys, 70% of your sessions are coming from a mobile device. Envision the placement of it on your website. So again, this is something you should do inside of the storyboard planning phase. Make sure you're looking ahead before you do this. So you plan your shots and plan your creative and things around the website. Video length, You can either go for like a replay value, so that's stuff that's less than 20 seconds, 10 seconds, that sort of thing, or you can go for a really deep explanation. Maybe I'll find an example of like a deeper explanation. So that's like a 2-minute video really diving into, it's almost like a BSL for your product. Again, that's for complicated products. And yeah, really just explain the science, the methodology, the reasoning, the whatever it is behind your product so people get it. Also, a thing is launch it with something new. So you can just put it up there for no reason, but I think it's probably going to succeed more if you launch it with some kind of new campaign you're doing. So again, a new launch of something, you've updated the software somewhere, you're running a sale, you've got this new thing that's drops, or you're running a promo for it, or whatever it happens to be. And then test it, A/B test it, make sure, similar to step 4 in here, you see how it performs. So yeah, that's everything I've got on homepage hero videos. I will drop this doc in somewhere if any of you find it useful. And yeah, I hope this was thorough and useful. Let me know if it was. Bye.